What's going on, everybody? Week 2 for the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals versus Chiefs. Things that I want to look out for in this specific game. Now, I'm extremely excited. I get it. It's just preseason, but it's just another opportunity for our rookies to show out and see what they can do and if they can make the 53-man roster. Now, of course, in this video, we're going to be diving into, things that I want to see from the Arizona Cardinals, and we're going to sprinkle in some things from the Kansas City Chiefs as well. That's what we're going to dive into today, guys. Let's go ahead and roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back in, and again, thank you so very much for tuning in. Before we get started on this preview, Cardinals versus Chiefs, let's do our quick due diligence here, guys. Let's go ahead and smash that like button. Please subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. We're on the road to 7K. I believe last time I looked, we were like 10 subscribers away, so definitely hit that post notification bell on just so you're aware of when we drop the next video or when we go live. Alright, without further ado, let's go and just jump right into this video. First, let's start off with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I think it was very obvious what happened on the Kansas City Chiefs last game against the San Francisco 49ers. They were down in the fourth quarter, and then they went ahead and got a miraculous comeback by one of their quarterbacks, and I believe it was Shane Burchell. They ended up getting the winning touchdown from them, and they ended up beating the San Francisco 49ers 19-16. But what we seen in that game, we seen Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill probably about 1 to 2 series in that specific game. Now, we seen a good workload of a lot of different quarterbacks, whether you want to say it's Anthony Gordon, Shane Burchell, or even Chad Henne. Now, I don't really know exactly who's going to be the backup to Patrick Mahomes, but when you have a superstar like Patrick Mahomes, you really don't kind of think about, the backup quarterback to him. But those are the quarterbacks that we most likely will be seeing in this game a lot. Now, the running backs that we most likely will be seeing for the Arizona Cardinals matchup is most likely Jared McKinnon. We'll see him. We'll see Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He might be a little bit less more than any other one because I think he might be the starter for the regular season. And then we also have Darrell Williams as well. Now, we also have some running backs that might be sprinkled in as well. Looking at the workload, I think that, Andy Reid did a very good job in spreading the wealth with all their different players they have just to prevent any injury for these, these meaningless games. As far as the wide receiving core, you might see a good amount of Byron Pringle, Darius Fountain, and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is going to give you a little bit, maybe 2 series, maybe not. I know second game is a little different, and it's different throughout a lot of organizations, so we might not see him this game, and they might save him for game 3, but needless to say, those are going to be the biggest impacts that we might see for Cardinals versus Chiefs. All right, and then the moment we've been waiting for, guys, the week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys could not work out any better for a lot of our rookies that we ended up getting in this 2021 draft class. Zaven Collins showed up, man. He had some very good plays, especially stuffing the run. And it just looked really cool, man. I love his intensity. I love what he brings to the table. We also had some strong production from Rondale Moore. I think it was pretty obvious what the Arizona Cardinals were trying to do. They're trying to show us talents out there and really show out and be like, this is how we're going to use them. So definitely want to see a good amount more of Rondale Moore as well. Another player that I want to see have a good amount of snaps. Now, Marco Wilson, man. Now, this guy was a 4th round pick from Florida. I want to see him line up with, players like, Byron Pringle, Darius Fountain, or maybe even Mecole Hardman. I don't really know if Mecole Hardman is going to have a good amount of workload, but I would love to see him go out there and say, hey, this is your matchup, this is who you're going to follow, because truth of the matter is Mecole Hardman will probably be the best welcome to the NFL type of matchup that Marco Wilson will be able to see, especially in the regular season. But, they'll also have players like Pringle as well as Fountain to really kind of say, hey, welcome to the NFL, young man. But I have no doubt in my mind that Marco Wilson will do a very good job. He's still probably a couple months away from being that starter. I've been saying this multiple different times that our cornerback role seems to be solidified with Alfred Butler as well as Byron Murphy. So I think we're good there, but we could still very well bring in some cornerbacks that might help out just depending on what packages that we bring on the defense. This specific game, in terms of the running game from the Arizona Cardinals, we definitely most likely will see a good amount of Jonathan Ward as well as Eno Benjamin as well. And that, that really excites me. We might see Chase Edmonds just a little bit, maybe sprinkle him 1 or 2 plays, and he might be used at maybe 2 runs, 3 runs. But I think the bottom line, what they're trying to do is either save them for the regular season or maybe save them for game 3. That's usually the trend that we've been seeing from the Arizona Cardinals, is where like we don't really see the starters very much, or they might be sprinkled in these games, but we see them a good dosage in game 3. Will that happen this year? I don't really know. I don't know how to read Cliff Kingsbury or even Steve Keim. So however they decide to deal with it, then we're just gonna have to suck it up and really see what it is. Do I want to see Kyler Murray? Of course. My selfishness wants to bring, Kyler Murray out for a couple drives to see what he's going to do with Rondale Moore, what he's going to do with Christian Kirk. Now, can they hold out DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green? Yes. We know what they can do. We know that they're established, but we got some players that are kind of borderline. Are they gonna make it past 2021 season? And in my opinion, Christian Kirk is one of those players. And of course we have that shiny new toy in Rondale Moore. That would be an awesome opportunity for Kyler Murray to throw the ball to him one or two times to see if we can get that chemistry going right off the bat. Another position that I want to talk about that we don't really talk about very often is going to be the safety role. I think a lot of people are already solidified that Budda Baker is going to be that safety there. He's going to be our superstar there. But we also have the other options here, like what are we going to do at free safety? We have kind of a lot of people that are going bounce back and forth. I know Jalen Thompson might be the favorite going into the 2021 season, but he's had some injuries throughout his career so far. But we got a lot of things to look out for in this game, like who's going to make that one or two plays, batted ball, interception, that type of stuff. And we're going to be looking at the Deontay Thompsons. We're going to be looking at the James Wiggins, the Banjos, and stuff like that to really say who's going to be right next to Budda Baker and who's going to make them both improve this defense moving forward. One of the biggest questions that I get a lot is, who do you think is going to win this game? Honestly, I don't really care if the Arizona Cardinals wins this game. I just want to see a better improvement from our rookies. Just basically improve yourself from game 1 to game 2. That's kind of the stuff that I want to see. We can lose this game. We really could. I mean, I could really care less that we'll be going 1-1 in the preseason. It's not that big of a deal to me. This is the opportunity for these rookies, these undrafted, free agents that are coming in to really find their own and come up with a spot. And it's so probably hard, especially in the, the safety role, the cornerback role, maybe even the running back role, because in my opinion, I think we might keep 3 running backs, maybe even 4, but I think Eno Benjamin has really bought himself a ticket into becoming that 3rd running back. So at this very moment, Jonathan Ward really has a lot to prove. Maybe we can get that 4th running back in this lineup here, because honestly, I like what I see from Jonathan Ward, and I would love for him to get the opportunity to be in this 53-man roster. And now the quarterback spots. Who are we going to see in quarterback? Now, obviously, I've said it a little earlier. I would love to see Kyler Murray. Do I think we're going to see him in, week 2, game 2 for the Arizona Cardinals? Probably not. We most likely will see some Colt McCoy and then Chris Streveler. I know Chris Streveler has lost a lot of... The fans have lost a lot of confidence in Chris Streveler, and a lot of people don't think that he's going to make it in the 53-man roster, and rightfully so. I think Colt McCoy is a viable, great option to be a backup quarterback for Kyler Murray. Now, probably my favorite quarterback that was backupping, Kyler Murray has to be Brett Hundley, but unfortunately, because of all the issues that he has off the field, the legal issues, he just didn't ever find his spot. And he ended up getting cut, unfortunately. But Colt McCoy is definitely a great option. I think he can win us a few games, especially if needed. I think if we had a Colt McCoy last year during the Rams game, we most likely would have been sneaking into the playoffs with a player like Colt McCoy. Now, Chris Streveler on the other end, I know that one thing he wanted to do was work on his passing in this year, this training camp. I don't see it from him at all. I see him more as a run first type of quarterback, and I think that's his mentality. I think if nothing's open in the first second, his mind is automatically, let me run this ball, which, hey, honestly, there was an amazing run that he had, plus 20 yards, and then he trucked a safety for the Cowboys, which is pretty exciting to see. But needless to say, guys, the quarterback probably is going to be anywhere between split Colt McCoy and Streveler. We most likely will not see Kyler Murray. Maybe there's a glimmer of hope, there's a light at the end of the tunnel for maybe him playing in game 3, but I'm not going to hold my breath, guys. But let me know what you guys think. Some players that you think we should look out for on the opposite side, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. Put everything in the comments below. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate everybody for watching, guys. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.